Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to LA Noire. Gotta remember what game I'm playing. So, let's see, what were we doing? We just kind of started another thing, didn't we? And it's another Black Dahlia murder case. I guess since we're on homicide, we're going to just be handling all of this, and we're going to go interview the husband. You, you know, the last two episodes I've had to heavily edit, and I've already done a lot of work, and I'm going to have to do a lot more work on it. So the game particularly does not care one bit about that, and it seems just kind of extreme for extremeness sake. And when you think about the previous mission before these two missions, it's been the 15-year-old that was statutorily raped and attempted to be murdered in traffic division. They got me promoted to the first Black Dahlia copycat. And now we're on, assumedly, a second Black Dahlia copycat. And when you look in backwards, it almost screams like they wanted to have the 15-year-old murdered and naked on, like the Black Dahlia murders too, and clearly that wouldn't fly with the public. But honestly, it's extreme and a little too back to back. Maybe, and I don't think any of those missions are DLC, so I don't think.
Phelps and Galloway.
I think this is the main way it
Is your
worked.
father home?
We'll be home soon. He's been out looking for Mommy.
What's your name, miss?
Michelle Eloise Mahler?
Can we come in?
This is the first
So?
really small child in the game
Thank you.
that we've seen. There's not been any
Could you have a
children
seat
on
for me,
this
Michelle?
street. Is this for a second gonna be a legal question? Like any information she gives you, any information you get right now from her is going to be inadmissible without a
Circumstantial.
advocate, at least in modern days. There's food that's not put up. That doesn't make the most amount of sense in the 1940s, that a husband would go to the grocery store, get food, and then not put any of it up. It doesn't even really make that much sense that the husband would go to the grocery store. And then you have, like,
Doesn't tell me anything.
apparently this little girl cooking and preparing food, or the
Doesn't give
father,
me anything to go on.
like, unless this stuff has just been sitting out since the mother went missing, the way this kitchen is set up doesn't make the most sense. This whole system does not work well. You just get the vibration on the controller, and then you have to do a circle to figure out what of the 12 items that are in your general vicinity they actually are talking about. You can actually pick
Not
up.
sure this means much.
Like, I can't even open it. This is really just adding busy work to the game. There might as well have not been any kids in this game, in all honesty, because there's...
Work boots. Size 8.
size 8. Like... And you pick up both of them. Interesting. Like, for one child to show up and then never see another one in the game is ridiculous. And plenty of other games.
Elgin wristwatch. Probably the same one snatched from her body.
Interesting. Like, plenty of games don't have kids in them. Plenty of even the newest games that have just been announced
No sign
probably
of a wedding ring.
won't have kids in them. Frankly, I'm not saying that this game is for kids. This is by far not. This is mature audiences only, really. Just for the horrible crimes being committed and the violence, but let alone the nudity. But even games for kids don't want to play as kids. They want to be something stronger, more empowered, usually something more fantastical. And same is true for adults. Like, very few adults are detective investigators at the police, so for the police, and so here is a game where you play as an adult who has a little bit more power, who has a little bit more skill, and has a more interesting story to play into. So I just am going to question her. I guess I have no choice.
Is this about Mommy? Daddy is trying to find her. Please tell me she's okay.
I'm sorry to have to tell you.
And so the
this,
face,
your mother is dead.
the face scanning doesn't even. This is probably an adult
Do you think you could answer a few questions for us?
actresses
Try.
face scanned and then de-aged. And I'm starting to think that that might also be part of the reason why the past two missions have had nudity, is that it literally was just an experiment on, did they actually get somebody naked and just scan their entire body? What was that really what this was going towards? Interesting, Michelle Mahler here is also 15 years old, and she certainly looks a lot younger. It's also worth mentioning that before you had things like cell phones where you could call or track people, finding somebody who's gone missing was a lot more difficult, and pretty much came down to filing missing persons, which police wouldn't still do much about until 48 hours, and driving around and looking for them where they might be, just guessing.
Daddy should be on his way.
Let's talk to her.
When did you last see your mother?
Yesterday afternoon. I went to a dance at Belmont High. Mommy was supposed to pick me up, but she didn't show.
So what did you do then?
I was upset. Daddy came instead.
This is funny. It looks like I should doubt her. But let's see, we've got really nothing here that would tell me.
So you were hanging around the school for quite a while. What happened with your father?
I don't know. I called and finally he answered. He came straight away then.
So that's odd to doubt, but whatever.
Some of your mother's jewelry was missing. Can you describe her things?
A ring, a watch. I never paid much attention to that stuff.
Like, why would I doubt that? So, the thing about video game facial animations and movement animations, it sometimes gets annoying in games because they'll overuse the default animations and have people move their hands around a lot. Witcher 3 is particularly bad about that. Every single time someone's talking, they are moving their hands up and down, left and right, overemphasizing In the facial animation here, there's really no way for me to tell how much of these actions, the eyes to the left, the eyes to the right, the eyes down to the left, the eyes down to the right, the eyes looking up, a smirk, a blink, how much of that is just default random garbage thrown in to try to make the character look more
He should
human.
be on his way.
But I guess when it goes to a default like that, you might be able to cheat the system a little bit if you wait until they say something by themselves. Then you could see the restart. Like, I think I'm supposed to doubt here.
You seem reluctant to talk about her jewelry.
It's a touchy subject with Daddy. He thought she wasted too much money on her appearance.
And see, that was wrong. And so let's see if the parents are fighting.
Your mom and dad are happily married?
What are you saying? Of course they are.
Do I have anything to prove that's a lie? Not really.
They weren't happy, were they, Michelle? Did your father ever hit your mother?
Just the once. She said she would leave him if he ever did it again. He bought her a brooch pin to make up for it. And he always wore her golden butterfly.
Thanks, Miss Muller. You've been very brave.
So he shows up.
Hey! What gives?
Daddy, the police
Go to your
are
room,
here.
please, Michelle. I'll talk to the police.
Daddy, Mommy is
So
Go to your
I
room,
know
young
this
lady.
actor.
She's not even out of school. You can't come in here interrogating her like she's
Your
some
wife
kind
was
of...
found murdered this morning.
Found? What?
Hmm.
But she only...
We have some questions that we would like to ask you.
So it just jumps into
Sure.
the next investigation.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
So this is, I recognize him from Heroes, and about a decade later, Heroes Reborn, as a middle tier sci-fi actor. I don't think I've seen him in anything else really. I find it disconcerting though that so many actors were probably hired for this game in favor of more qualified video game voice actors who have the experience of specifically voicing characters in video games. And even if they were to get their faces scanned, they would look more like normal people than hiring
Please, if
actors
that's all. Please just leave.
who are Hollywood good looking, or Hollywood normal versus normal people normal. Let's see.
What size shoe do you wear, Mr. Muller?
Why do you ask?
It's routine, sir. Simple process of elimination.
9s, I think.
That's a lie.
Why are you lying to me, Mr. Muller?
Why would I lie to you at a time like this?
Let's see. Size 8 work boots.
That's funny. The work boots we found here are size 8s. Why lie about it if you've got nothing to hide?
Because I always get teased about the size of my feet. You know, small feet, small...
Always been true in my experience.
Wait a minute. Did that guy just say he specifically has a lot of experience seeing other men's genitals? I think that's what he just said. Have shoe size changes since the 40s? I'm looking at my house shoes right now that happen to be like, God, I wear a 13 medium. Wow. That is small feet, I guess. But honestly, if you're an 8.5 and you're in the 40s, you would wear 9s, sometimes 8s. That's not too far off. It'd be better writing if he said he was a size 10, 11, 12.
Please,
Something,
that's all. Please just leave.
something that's significantly off, not one number off, because there's not that much difference.
So you were here all night. You stayed in while your wife went out to pick up your daughter?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, that is such a lie.
You should come clean.
He just
Having an affair
lined him
if
up
there's
to...
something going on.
I told you I was here. Were you saying I wasn't?
He just handed him a lie. I mean, dangerously close to entrapment there.
So why did you take so long to answer the phone when your daughter called?
Okay, I went out for a while. I was driving around. It's my way of relaxing.
So, I get the feeling that this time the husband just personally murdered the wife. The idea here being that we have two back-to-back husbands murdering the wife cases, and then maybe in the next case or two we'll have one where the wife murders the husband. And maybe somewhere in there we'll have one where the husband isn't involved.
You phoned in a missing persons report this morning?
Yeah, that's right. My wife didn't come home last night. She left around 9:30. Michelle was out at dance. She called me to let me know that Deidre didn't turn up.
I think that's true. Like, the only thing that could potentially change that is if I went back here to the log and then scrolled way up here to the time of death that the coroner told me, which is still a lot of the way up here. Let's see. Everything is still here. So somewhere in this line of dialogue, the coroner told us the time. But it's probably not that important to know. And it kind of sucks that the audio just gets stopped. Like, this is not a good experience. Here's the coroner talking. We had several conversations with the coroner, I think. Scrolling through this. Maybe that was the previous... Maybe that was the previous case. This is perfect evidence that I'd be a terrible police officer. I just misremember evidence and facts. Yeah, I don't see the coroners talking here. And I should see it by now. So I'm just gonna say truth.
Was your wife unreliable?
No.
So I got that wrong. So I should have doubted that.
Your wife was beaten and then strangled. In your case, you have no alibi and a history of violence towards your wife.
That's not true, god damn it.
Do I have evidence? I really don't have evidence, so I'm just gonna doubt.
I think you set this up, Hugo. I think you kicked up a fuss about staying home for an alibi. Then you followed your wife and murdered her.
You're out of your mind coming in here making accusations like that. Come out into the yard and I'll make you take that back, mister.
And I was wrong
Getting
about
hostile with us
that
is
too.
A very bad idea, Hugo.
I'm no murderer.
Make some arrangements for your daughter and then present yourself to Central Station for questioning.
You gotta be kidding me, Phelps. Put the cuffs on him.
This is an outrage. I didn't kill my wife.
Your daughter is in the next room, Muller, so I'm giving you a break. Don't make me change my mind, and don't make me come looking for you.
We should go back in there and bust his ass.
1, we need to break his alibi, check phone records, canvass the neighbors. 2, we have motive of domestic violence, which probably goes for half the men in LA. 3, we have no evidence tying him to the crime scene.
Yeah.
Detective!
The neighbors want to talk again? So that's becoming a reoccurring issue. These two quests are like exactly the same, back to back. Why not space them out?
Yes, ma'am.
I heard the terrible news over the radio.
And you can help us with our inquiries?
Yes, sir.
Another familiar
They had a
face.
row last night. I heard Mrs. Muller screaming.
Did you see Mrs. Muller come home late last night at all?
No, not at all. I did see Mr. Muller put something in the incinerator earlier this morning, though.
I told you he was our guy. Now let's get this bum downtown and into a cell.
Look, there he is now.
Are you drunk, mister? Or are you just cracked? Step away from the incinerator. Don't let him get away.
Okay, but no shooting. We need this guy to make the case.
Interesting little pit. See, it seems like I could have tackled him.
This doesn't look good, Hugo.
So,
I can explain the blood.
bloody
Get
shoes.
booked in at Central, officer. Then put him in an interview room. We'll be speaking with him later. And inform the captain.
Yes, sir, Detective.
Is there someone you can call, miss?
I don't want home, and
You need somewhere to stay, Michelle. You have other family? Grandparents? Aunts or uncle?
call Aunt Helen, but she lives in Bakersfield, and
Call her. We're gonna get someone down here from Juvenile Hall to talk to you in the meantime.
We ought to get some uniforms down here, clean up, take care of the kid.
See, and the weird thing is I felt like there was gonna be two things there, and there wasn't two things there. And we've got a newspaper sitting on the table, but it's not one of the newspapers that we are collecting. And see, everything
Galloway,
is pointing
homicide
to...
division, badge number 564.
Go ahead, Detective Unit.
Did we get Ray Pinker and a technical services team to a house at 130 North Bonnie
Why
Gray
is his
Street?
badge number a
Send
lot
someone down from
smaller
juvenile
than
hall to
mine?
look after a young lady.
Like, he's got one digit less than I do.
Phelps said the coroner has a report waiting. Police morgue downtown when he's available.
I get another
Got
achievement
it, KGPL.
for who knows what.
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on a Belmont High School.
Checking for you, Detective. Belmont High, 1575 West 2nd Street.
Thanks, ma'am.
I think it's kind of funny you wouldn't be able just to ask your partner. Like, you don't know where Belmont High School is, and you've been working here for many years? Like, I understand Cole is probably completely new to the area. There's, I guess, some question as to why he's even in Hollywood then, but whatever. Maybe he just got the job here and moved on. But your partner, I would hope you would partner up with somebody who had some familiarity with the city enough to know where the high schools are. Let's see. LA Cold Storage Company is the first ice production plant feeding and growing city with fresh. Like, why is that even there? Oh, it's just a landmark. Like Angel's Flight. So you could I've unlocked a few of these. And there's no mission here. Apparently I can go to Central Morgue if I so want to. But there's no crime or anything here. The weird thing here, I guess, if you were writing this story, as writers often do, that 15-year-old girl that we just talked about and talked to, you might have a lot of writers write her as the girl who was raped 2 missions ago and move things around. So you have a tragedy of her father probably killing her mother, and then she runs away from her Aunt Helen and then tries to be in the movies, and then the tragedy just kind of follows the family there. It would add some more connection.
Can you go to this one?
It doesn't particularly...
I'm surprised, you know. I didn't make the husband for it.
Always make the husband first. 9 times out of 10, it's the closest person to the vic who does the deed. God knows I've wanted to kill some wives in my day.
Lex parsimonii.
What?
The law of parsimony. Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is most likely the correct one.
You know, you could have said that without getting all liturgical on me.
I'll try to dumb things down from now on.
Appreciate it. Try this one on the side. Rusty's razor.
How's that go?
You blame the guy that's banging her.
Ah, of course. The famous Lex ignoramus.
Closes cases, Cole. Puts a lot of people away, that one.
So, yeah, it doesn't really make a ton of sense that you would need that in a game like this, since each case should just be separate.
I'm busy. Busy where? You're going on another drive with Davy Gardner, aren't you?
So what if I am?
Go, Phelps. I'll take the car and see if I can cut him off.
So, we just see somebody sneaking around. And there, I jumped a hurdle. Here we have another example of a lot of production value put into an area for really not the greatest reason ever. So I'm tapping A to tackle. And I always want to tackle people because I want to question them.
Car 11K, car 11K, come in.
11K, go ahead.
11K, see the janitor. A green 1946 coupe registered to a Mrs. Hugo Moeller has been found in the parking lot adjoining the Belmont High School and playing fields. 11K, code 2.
Kind of makes you wonder why they use the police box ever when they have a radio.
Who's asking?
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Name's Eli Rooney.
You've been in trouble with the law before, Eli?
Some.
What are you doing around here?
I like to keep an eye on the children.
Strictly paternal, is it, Eli?
Don't sass me, boy.
A woman was abducted here last night, Eli, and murdered.
And I would love to make you for that, you oaky motherfucker.
Well, I wouldn't know nothing about that. A woman, you say? I like 'em a little younger than that.
Turn out your pockets, Eli.
Now, why would I do that?
Because I'm about to break your fucking skull, Eli.
You're under arrest, Eli. You're in very deep trouble. Get some backup down here, Rusty. We need to get this one downtown and into a cell.
I'll tell them we got a kitty raper coming in. They can roll out the red carpet.
So, not a lot of petty thefts going on here. No, like, shoplifters. No fraud, really. I guess maybe the pink slips were fraud, but that was
What time
like...
did you see the person park the car?
Late last night, after school social, maybe 1 a.m. I've been keeping a good eye out lately. We've had problems with the child molester.
Eli Rooney. We've met him.
Filthy son of a bitch. He was here yesterday before the dance.
Was it him you saw park the car?
I don't know, sir. I'd like to say yes, but the truth is it was pretty dark.
Would you say Rooney is violent?
Yes, sir. I would say so, yes.
Thanks for your help.
That's useless. Don't ask the opinion of the person. Tell me, do you know of any incidences of violence that he has done? So, yeah, it's just a lot of rape, a lot of violence, a lot of murder.
It's from a Chrysler. Could be important.
You know, it's kind of funny too. Is like Grand Theft Auto as a game
Look at
has
skin samples. We better get Ray Pinker out here.
really changed from being just a game about. Well, I don't know if GTA ever actually was.
Overalls are stenciled HM. Muller is a mechanic. I wonder what Eli does for a living.
Like, what was this? Yeah, GTA isn't just about stealing cars. Like, you would be closer to a Need for Speed, some of the Need for Speed games, if you just wanted to play a game about stealing cars. Instead, it's about, yes, you can steal cars, but also you run around and murder people and get guns and do everything else. The worst of the worst crimes. See, there's no new question. That janitor's outfit looks pretty similar to the mechanic's outfit, and I think that's just a coincidence. I didn't think the game would make a sound with me running into it.
Isn't that the cop who won a medal and is solving all the cases?
And so we're calling the main part of the school, though. Like, let's just take a moment to
There's such a thing as soap, you know.
see all of this.
Won't buy me something nice. I'll find someone who will.
I don't know why they seem to say I'm dirty. And some of the phrases, they'll say that's disgusting, or there's such a thing as soap. I mean, who wrote these lines? Again, why do they use this instead of the radio?
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need interrogation set up at Central for both suspects being held in the Muller homicide case.
Certainly, Detective. I'll get in touch with the watch commander.
Thank you.
I survived the war for this.
And we are kind of in a bit of a conundrum now, because who do we really want to pin this murder on? It's probably the husband, but the game seems like it would like to imply it's the other guy too. It's probably the husband, though. There is a slight problem here. We're going to the morgue. However, with the concept of Occam's razor,
You're behind the wheel.
is the most simple, reasonable
I say we make Rooney for this.
evidence.
I think we should lay it on him. He was near the car. He had her jewelry. The DA will love him for it.
Even if he didn't do it?
Who cares whether he did it? You have kids, Phelps? He needs to be taken permanently out of harm's way.
And we let Muller slide?
For a while. He gets a free pass for me.
Really, a free pass for murder? How many people are in jail just because the police wanted them in jail if that's how they think. Like this game is implying, I guess. This game is really not doing its best representation.
How are we gonna look getting around in this thing, Cole?
Apparently I'd already unlocked this car. It'll be an interesting question to see if she's covered up or if this is just gonna be a case of her being naked on a slab again. The janitor that was here is gone.
Phelps, Rusty, thanks for coming.
Can you blood type the shoes that we bagged and see if they're a match?
Sure. It'll all be in the report, but I'm assuming you want the details now?
Please. Cause of death is strangulation?
Correct. Take a look at the samples on the bench.
So they did cover up. Thank goodness for that. Less editing for me. So this doesn't match. That doesn't match. This clearly seems to match.
What are the normal uses for that kind of rope?
On boats, mooring lines.
That's what I said.
Correct. Although Ray says that they're sometimes used as bell ropes in churches.
So if we find out
looking for a sailor or a minister?
Well, in my
Might be a
experience,
mechanic
sailors
for
seem to
boats.
have the greater libido.
Was Mrs. Muller criminally attacked?
No external or internal traces of semen.
Thanks, Mal. Anything else comes up, you let us know.
Your experience isn't detailed enough. Clearly.
The shoe prints?
Size 8s. Very similar to the impressions from the Henry case.
Now, who do we remember who got caught in bloody size 8s? I think we have our bird.
And see, once you get to the data, you're just out of it. You can't continue to look. You can't... it takes control away from you. See, there's some kind of organ. Is that a liver? Spleen?
We've got to nail this guy.
Okay, if you're finished jawing, we need to get moving.
And see, I don't even control the camera there. But yeah, what I was saying before is clearly there's a back and forth on the budget. Like some buildings, tons of work were done. Other buildings, doors are just locked. You'd think maybe in the central morgue there might be a reason to see the whole thing. I would certainly try to smooth it out more and have it be a case where your regular places, regular houses are just not enterable as they are here, but places you do enter, such as the morgue, should be fully searchable. Instead we have an entire section with nothing on the inside. There's a lot of hot dog vendors.
Isn't that the cop who solved the big case and got promoted?
Like, is there a way I could get a hot dog?
Generally speaking, you weren't learning.
Nope. And boy, is that an ugly side of a building. Alright, well, we now have, as far as I know, just the police station to go. Unless we've got a crime we can do. We do have a street crime, so.
Great.
You know the way. You can drive.
How are we gonna look getting around in this thing, Cole? You've got to be kidding. We're driving this?
It's kind of funny that he would.
How are we gonna look getting around in this thing, Cole?
It's kind of funny that they
Go ahead with the further.
specifically.
Car 11K, citizen reports suspicious activity at 111.
They specifically labeled some cars as odd looking, so that, and they specifically recorded lines of dialogue for getting in odd looking cars.
LAPD, stop what you're doing.
And this is another.
Some of the rough stuff, are you? What's your beef with this guy, Phelps?
Let's see, what's a grapple attack? And now am I supposed to be taking this guy out? A grapple attack. Only dazed people can be grappled. And this guy's still running after all of that.
You! Get back here!
And it stops right when I approach the car and then hop in the car. It's an odd point to give me control back. I don't have my partner in the car, and he's driving rather erratically. Darn it. The turning in this engine is terrible. Backing up sucks too. And the suspect escaped. Try again. Hopefully it just takes me back to the car part. Nope.
We're driving this?
Suspicious activity, 111 South Alameda. Stand by for further for any Sentry unit.
We can take it if you want, or not.
It's kind of funny that the ambulance has a radio. Let's see. Press B to finish.
No, leave him be.
Get in. Clearly this mission is specifically designed to just unlock this car. This car is driving really, really erratically. And that still didn't work that well. And see, there might be a handbrake turn in here. Let's see.
Idiot!
Oh, they got this car, I think, planted specifically to be in my way.
Great. How are we gonna look getting around in this thing, Cole?
Suspicious activity, 111 South Alameda.
You might have to just abandon this one.
Want to leave that one to the uniform.
good.
And that way,
Come on. Let's see. And so he punches the guy as soon as I finish the other guy. And then I leave him. I can sit here and horn all I want, but that's kind of all I can do. And you really can't hit this guy because it clearly is set up in a way that only some scenarios allow you to get next to a car at specific times. So I wasn't even going down the right street.
These people!
Come on. Let me through. So I got a little bit further, but I'm still not doing great. Like
No harm done.
Let me out. Let me out so I can arrest this guy. You have to come to a complete stop.
Give it up, LAPD.
Like everybody wants to do a police
Frank
chase.
Morgan? Yeah, look, it was Harry's idea to boost the truck full of fishes, not mine. I was in the bar late talking and we...
Save it. You two idiots can say hello to Adrian for me.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is the guy that I let go before.
You've got to be kidding. We're driving this?
Like, so this was he was a guy we saw before, and so there was a reoccurrence of a character. So do we want to take the ambulance truck or do we want to take this car? Kind of in a weird way, too, I suppose, that, like, if I had taken the guy to jail, I guess he would have gotten out of jail, and then we send him back, just back to jail. Clearly, the way the statistics work, though, let's see, we haven't gotten any new outfits. I don't think there are any more outfits except for the one that requires collecting the 20 silver badges. Like, there's a set number of street crimes. So unless they skinned Frank Morgan out of it in some scenarios, he was going to be in that street crime. They wouldn't be named, and there wouldn't be an exact number of 40. In a lot of ways, it feels like this is one of these cases where the main company, so this was made by Team Bondi, Rockstar was their boss, I suppose, of this, and then Take-Two was their boss. It feels like somewhere along the line, the publisher, Take-Two or Rockstar, came to them and negotiated what the game they were going to sell would be. And they came to an agreement of having 40 street crime type levels. And they just get crammed in there with not any real concern because it's not really important to the 21 story cases, which have so much more stuff in them, so much more life in them, where the street crimes are just boring and quick, which is still better than boring and long, I guess, but they just feel so out of place. We found 5 landmarks. We've gotten 25 out of 95 cars because we've pretty much given up on trying to find cars. We're at 31.7% somehow. Rank 12. I guess we're slowly moving up on the ranks. Not specifically getting too much of anything done. And according to my research, this was about a 20-hour game, and we've played for now almost 9 hours according to the game itself, probably longer. And if that is true, we should be at the halfway point, and I certainly don't feel like we're at the halfway point. If we are, what would have to happen is this would be the final homicide case. We would get promoted to the next desk. There'd be 3 cases in the next desk and 3 cases in the next desk. That would be 6 cases. 6 plus 8 makes 14, not 21. So there's another 7 cases that are missing there. And that seems very strange. Very, very strange. Anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.